The year is 1942. A shadowy figure sneaks through a darkened office, his face illuminated only by the glow of a nearby radium dial. With trembling hands, he types a sequence of letters into a strange machine, then presses a button. A whirring sound fills the room as the machine begins to clatter and flash. Seconds tick by like minutes. Suddenly, a red light illuminates the word bingo. Our agent has just cracked the unbreakable code. But this isn't Hollywood. This is real history. And there's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. Join me as we explore 5 shocking facts about the printing press shockwave you won't believe. So the war is raging. Hitler's forces dominate much of Europe. Britain stands almost alone against the Nazis. But what happens on the battlefield isn't just about tanks and troops. It's also about secrets, hidden messages sent by radio between German commanders and units across the continent. These messages are scrambled using a device called Enigma, which makes it virtually impossible to decipher. That is, except for the brilliant mathematicians at Bletchley Park. Deep in the English countryside, Bletchley Park may sound like a quaint neighborhood, but it's actually a top-secret government facility dedicated to cracking Enigma. Leading the charge is Alan Turing, a brilliant but eccentric mathematician. Also working there is Gordon Welchman, a professional cipher clerk, along with thousands of other codebreakers. But let's focus on two people in particular, Alan and Joan. Their days are long and tedious, filled with endless calculations and false starts. But they're driven by something bigger than themselves, the need to help defeat the Nazis. Along the way, they form an unlikely friendship, finding solace in each other's company during the long hours and frustrating setbacks. They share their dreams for the future, aspiration that seem a world away from the bleak reality of war-torn England. But they never give up hope. Hope that one day their efforts will make a difference. Then it happens. A breakthrough. One of the codebreakers manages to decipher a message, a confirmation that all their hard work is paying off. The news spreads through the camp like wildfire, sparking a sense of camaraderie and purpose. Together, they're not just breaking codes, they're changing the course of history. But it's not easy. Each victory is hard-fought, each message a new challenge. As the war drags on, so does the pressure to perform. The fate of countless lives hangs in the balance. Every day brings new challenges, new threats. The Germans change the encryption settings on their machines daily, meaning the codebreakers must start over each day. They race against the clock, working tirelessly to decipher the messages before midnight. When the encryption changes, their dedication knows no bounds. Meanwhile, the story of another brilliant mathematician unfolds. Addressed simply as Professor, he works in relative luxury in a country mansion, seemingly untouched by the horrors of war raging outside. His days are spent in comfortable surroundings, sipping tea and solving puzzles. But don't be fooled by the tranquil setting. The puzzles he tackles are anything but simple. They're the same encrypted messages received by German forces. The professor and his team work in secrecy, knowing the significance of their task. They, too, are racing against time, seeking to uncover the secrets hidden within the encoded transmissions in their quiet rooms. They make critical breakthroughs, each discovery bringing them closer to understanding the enemy's plans. It seems like two parallel worlds. On one side, the grit and determination of the team at Bletchley Park. On the other, the intellectual luxury of the country estate. Yet both groups are united by a common purpose. They're all searching for the same answers, seeking to extract valuable intelligence from the enemy's cryptic communications. In the midst of this high-stakes game of cat and mouse, personal lives are put on hold. Alan sacrifices his relationship with a childhood friend, choosing instead to dedicate himself to the code-breaking mission. Meanwhile, the professor's own past is shrouded in mystery. We learn that he was once engaged but never married, his heart seemingly untouched by love. Despite the emotional toll, they press on, driven by a sense of duty and the hope for a better future. As the war intensifies, the stakes become higher, the tension thicker. But amidst the darkness, there is a flicker of humanity. Moments of levity, acts of kindness, and the enduring power of friendship shine through. Now let's fast forward to 1944. The tide of war is turning, and thanks to the efforts of these codebreakers, the Allies are now one step ahead of the Germans. But what does this mean for the wider conflict? How exactly does cracking Enigma impact the outcome of the war? Let's dive into some real-world examples. One of the most significant impacts of code breaking was the Battle of the Atlantic. This was the longest and largest sea battle in history, fought between the German and British navies to control the Atlantic. By decrypting German naval codes, the Allies were able to anticipate enemy movements, disrupt supply lines, and protect vital shipping routes. The result was a decisive victory for the Allies, ensuring the flow of essential supplies to Britain and undermining German efforts to invade the UK. Another crucial moment was the North African Campaign. Here, British and German forces clashed in a brutal desert battle. Code breaking played a pivotal role in this theater of war as well. By decoding enemy messages, the Allies were able to track German troop movements, anticipate attacks, and coordinate their own strategies. This intelligence gave the Allies a significant advantage, contributing to the eventual defeat of the German forces in North Africa. But the impact went beyond military victories. The ability to read enemy communications also provided invaluable insights into German strategy, tactics, and leadership. This intelligence helped the Allies adapt their own plans, exploit enemy weaknesses, and ultimately seize the initiative. In effect, code breaking was a silent weapon that shaped the course of the war. It gave the Allies a crucial edge, allowing them to anticipate enemy moves, protect their own forces, and make informed strategic decisions. It was a testament to the power of intelligence and the importance of staying one step ahead in the relentless game of war. However, the true extent of code breaking remained a closely guarded secret for decades, only to be revealed years later. In the years following the war, the contributions of these unsung heroes came to light. The personal stories of bravery, resilience, and sacrifice were shared, paying tribute to those who had served. But even in the face of adversity, their spirits remained unbroken. They continued to serve, driven by a sense of duty and the belief in the greater good. Their efforts did not go unnoticed. Despite the danger, the secrecy, and the personal sacrifices they endured, the codebreakers of Bletchley Park left an enduring legacy. Their work laid the foundation for modern cryptography and computer science. It also reminds us of the power of human ingenuity and the importance of preserving history as untold stories. But what happened to them after the war? Well, Turing's story had a tragic turn. After being persecuted for his homosexuality, he died in 1954. But his work paved the way for AI and encryption. Meanwhile, the professor, whose name was actually Dilly Knox, returned to his quiet life as a country gentleman. He even helped crack the infamous Zodiac Killer's code. But that story is classified. As for Joan, her contributions were recognized only after decades of secret work. She died in 1976 without knowing the full impact she'd had. Today, their work is a reminder that the quietest rooms can change the world. From the safety of our digital lives to the security of our data, everything we touch echoes with their legacy. The next time you unlock your phone or send an email, remember the codebreakers of Bletchley Park, because sometimes the people who make the loudest difference do it in silence.